fail to achieve its objectives, and it will harm neighborhoods.
And that was the scene outside City Hall today as dozens of people rallied to call on City Council to reject the proposed zoning code rewrite. Good evening. I'm Shira Matsuzawa. Thank you for joining us here on the news at 10. And that rewrite would map out the future design and development of Boise. News Channel 7's Jude Binkley joins us now to break it all down. Jude.
Well, Shira, back in April, the Boise Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously approved a rewriting of a new zoning code. Now, that recommendation was sent to City Council, who will hear public testimony and make a decision next week. So before that happens, Reject Boise Upzone, a group that's been very vocal about concerns with the rewrite, held a rally to raise awareness ahead of the hearings.
Please tell the city how you feel.
This will impact every resident of our city, whether you're in the upzone or whether you're not in the upzone.
An impact that Reject Boise Upzone says more Boiseans should have a voice in.
In our experience, most Boiseans don't even know that this is happening, even now.
The group is calling for a delay on the zoning vote until after 2023 redistricting.
Our general concern is why the rush. You know, we feel it is very disingenuous to be doing this upzone right before the 2023 redistricting goes into place. And districts 2, 3, and 4 in the city currently do not have elected representation, even though they will bear 80-ish% of the brunt of this impact. It's very concerning to us.
And one of their main concerns involves housing density.
Developers build new housing, and they never can build that new housing that is as affordable as what they've destroyed, and it's very sad.
They say the change would bring gentrification, higher rents, and higher property taxes.
Adding density will never give you affordability. Vancouver has quadrupled their density over the last few decades, and it's one of the most expensive cities in Canada.
But some groups, like Neighbors for Boise, disagree. Earlier this week, 18 faith leaders affiliated with Neighbors for Boise wrote a letter voicing their support for the rewrite.
The new code opens some doors for us in the city that are not there now. It allows us to move from duplexes to tri and quads. It allows us to build a little bit higher. It just creates some infill, and maybe we stop the sprawl in the valley. We keep the city a little tighter, and maybe it allows us to create some affordable housing in places that right now are no longer affordable.
The city says their zoning code was adopted in 1966 and hasn't seen any major changes since.
The city's been working for a number of years with constituents in the city, having chances to respond and be active in the zoning rewrite.
Both groups plan to speak in front of City Council during public testimony on Tuesday and Wednesday.
You might wonder why churches care about zoning, but we care about neighbors. Our whole focus is how do we love our neighbor. And so if we can't create places for affordable housing, then we can't be good neighbors.
We have an awesome city as it is. We want to really keep it that way and grow thoughtfully and consciously, right?
Now again, City Council will have meetings throughout next week, including a time when they hear public testimony before making a decision. Now, we'll have the schedule for those meetings in our story at ktvb.com, as well as more info about the rewrite, including the 611-page document if you'd like to take a look at it yourself.